Hello, and welcome to Story Time with ihaveishoes. I'm going to read a story called Ibby's Ladder, and it's in my book, I Have Issues, and I Have Issues, A Tale of Woe and Triumph, and Other Stories. Written by me, Lori Howard, and on sale at Amazon.com. So this is called Ibby's Ladder. In the small town of Westington Sam, there lived a little girl named Adeline Herbie Herbert Smallston. There's the road to Westington Sam. Mountainous. She was a very active, age 7 3/4. She loved to find rocks and throw them on the street, much to the dismay of drivers going by. They'd say, "Adeline Herbie Herbert Smallston, please stop throwing rocks on the road, man." But she'd just smile, wave, and throw another rock. I don't know what it is about me and rocks. Finally, her mother, Gertie, came outside and said, "Now listen to me, young lady. Your name is entirely too long. I've decided from now on I'll just call you Ibby, okay?" Adeline Herbie Herbert Smallston smiled and said, "Okay, Ma." Ibby was relieved that her name was now short. She was also very relieved that her mother wasn't mad at her for throwing rocks on the road. My artwork is not the best. Sometimes Ibby would throw so many rocks it looked like the start of a mountain. People would drive by and honk. Again, she'd just smile and wave. One day when she was gathering more rocks in the woods near her house, she found a ladder. It was just sticking straight up all by itself. "Wow," Ibby said. "I wonder where this goes." And sure enough, Ibby, who never holds back from anything, climbed the ladder. Geez, ladder sticking straight up. At the top, there was a cloud that was very firm, just like the ground. Ibby climbed up onto the cloud just in time to hear her mother calling, "Ibby, you up there?" "Yes," Ibby said. "Well, your dinner's getting cold," her mother said quietly and sweetly. "Okay, Ma," Ibby said. There's Ibby's feet, way up there. Her mother is a special mother. Ibby's mom was the most calmest mom in their town. Ibby didn't understand it sometimes and thought maybe her mom would get mad at her, but she never did. She just accepted Ibby as Ibby, no matter how strange. The thought made Ibby smile. I know. She's pretty, huh? She's just beautiful. I have such great artistic ability. Ibby stayed up on the cloud a few more minutes, looking around the sky. It was beautiful, so clear, so blue. Then a big bird flew over her and landed next to her. "Hi," said the bird. "Hi," said Ibby. "Why are you up here?" asked the bird. "Because I climbed the ladder," Ibby smiled. The bird smiled back. Well, that's very interesting. Yeah, I've never seen a bird with teeth. Maybe in the dinosauric era. I know that's not the right word. I'm just saying it. Okay, so the bird says, well, that's interesting. It is? Asked Ibby. Yes, child, said the bird. You just keep climbing those ladders you find, and you'll have a happy life. With that, the bird flew away. Ibby didn't really know what the bird meant. She only knew about one ladder, and that was the one she had just climbed. That one ladder made her happy already, so she figured that whatever the bird meant, it was good. It wasn't until Ibby was grown that she finally understood. Ibby climbed many ladders in her lifetime, and even though sometimes the climb was hard, she always made it to the top. Her first ladder was completing elementary school, middle school, and high school. She played the drums in the school jazz band. Yes, Westington Some Goats. That's the name of their elementary, middle school, and high school, their mascot. She got straight A's in science and even won a medal for being the first girl football player. She was a cheerleader in high school. Go Westington Sam Goats. Ghosts. My goodness. She was really smart. After high school, Ibby went on to climb the ladder of college, where she majored in science. During college, she worked one summer in a circus job, climbing up the outside of the circus tent and diving headfirst into a pool of mud. That was fun, but not as a long-term job. So she went back to college and got a Master's of Science in Innovation. She went on to invent a Dumber-Doober, a Dumber-Boober, a machine that produced any food the customer wanted in under a minute or their meal was free. So I'll give you a minute to read all that the Dumber-Boober does. That invention made Ibby so wealthy, she also had enough money to send her sweet, laid-back mother a monthly amount of $3,445.26. She also had enough money to travel around the world. Here's the check to her mama. In her many travels, another one of those ladders Ibby climbed was called Kilimanjaro, a 19,340-foot mountain in Africa. She climbed it in the winter months with only a sleeping bag, a light jacket, a bottle of water, a compass, a package of bubble gum, and a bag of Oreo cookies, her favorite. I wonder she didn't fall down some ladders. She traveled to many foreign countries and shook hands with 1,400,000 423,887 people. She kept track in her diary. One hand she shook ended up being Prince Barfblad of Scotland. He was very handsome and very wealthy too. He had long dark hair and bright blue eyes. He's a prince. Ooh. He lived in a big castle on Loch Ness and thought Ibby was the most beautiful, beautiful woman he'd ever laid eyes on. And so he asked her to marry him, and she said, "Yes, duh." There's his castle, and look, it's Loch Ness. It's the serpent dragon thing. I shouldn't really add commentary. Ibby was so bright and happy when she walked down the aisle to marry Prince Barfblad, her blue and white wedding gown glowing like stars. Isn't that a pretty dress? The wedding was a huge celebration all across the land of Scotland. Many kings and queens came from far-off lands, as well as 100 of Prince Barfblad's closest relatives. Ibby paid for her mother to come as well, and was so happy to see her. She hugged her for about an hour. So there you see Ibby, and there's her mother. And there's the king and Prince Barfblad. Oh, that's a queen. I apologize. It was a beautiful wedding on a cliff overlooking Loch Ness. There were tables full of meat, vegetables, fruit, and cheese. There were tall cakes and blueberry pies and salads and chocolate-covered roses. Yummy. Oh, look at that. Fruit and veggies and flowers and little cakes and pies and tall cakes. There were, in fact, a lot of ladders Ibby climbed, such as the babies she gave birth to, the moments of pure magic when her children smiled, and the love of a good husband. Her favorite ladder, however, was the one that brought her back home to her ma and her cloud in the sky. I know those are creepy-looking babies, but I tried. And those are their diaper pins. And because Prince Barfblad was so kind and good, he built a huge castle right next to Ibby's ladder in her hometown, right down the street from her ma. He surprised her with that gift on her 30th birthday, telling her they would live there from now on. Oh, look at that beautiful castle. And right next to Ibby's ladder. Why didn't he build her mother a castle? Ibby's dreams came true because of the ladders she climbed in her life, and she never stopped dreaming. She never stopped climbing. The end. Thanks for watching.